everyone, my name is Caitlin and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. Today I am going to be doing a super fun and exciting video, and that is an original tag that I created called the Keep Me in Suspense Book Tag. Now this idea came about, actually some of these prompts were prompts that I came up with when I was initially thinking about the Keep Me in Suspense readathon, and then I decided to simplify the prompts for the readathon. So I was like, hey, why don't I just create a tag and use the extra prompts for that, as well as creating some others as well. So that is where this tag came from, and I think it'll be really fun. It was exciting and fun to pull out all this suspense and romantic suspense books to use for this tag. So yeah, let me just jump right into it, and I think this will be a fun time. Okay, so the first prompt is FBI Special Agent, and this is a book title that starts with the letter F, B, or I. So for this, I went with Fatal Mistake by Susan Sleeman, which is book 1 in the, I believe it's the White Knight series. It ended up only being a 2-book series. It was actually published, but I absolutely loved this one so much. It was fantastic. The heroine in it discovers that someone that she knows is a bomber that is wanted by the FBI, so she reports it, and then she is on the run from him, and the hero is an FBI agent who has like a specialty in disarming explosives and stuff, and it's non-stop action. It's everything that I want in a romantic suspense book, so highly recommend it. Okay. Prompt number 2 is Red Herring, a book with a mostly red cover. So for that, I went with Sins of the Past, which is a novella collection by Dee Henderson, Danny Petrie, and Lynette Eason. And as you can tell, this book is almost completely red. So yeah, that's what I went with for that one. I loved this one so much. So yeah. Okay. And then prompt 3 is Cold Case, a standalone book. So for that one, I went with Deadly Intentions by Lisa Harris. This is one of my favorites of her books. I haven't read it. It's been years since I read it. I read it when it came out, so I don't remember a ton of what it was about. But the heroine is a research scientist, and I really loved that she shares my name. Her name is Caitlin, and it is actually spelled exactly the same way as my name, so I loved that. Yeah, I'm not a research scientist. I'm not any kind of scientist, but she is, I can't remember. I almost want to say that there was something in this book about like a man-made virus or something. So that might be something to be aware of if that's triggering for you. But I think that was an element in this book, but I could be totally wrong. The hero is a detective named Josh, but yeah, the heroine is named Caitlin, and it's spelled exactly like my name, which I thought was so cool. And another cool thing about that is she also hates parking garages, as do I. I detest them. So that was kind of funny. Okay. Prompt number 4 is Cover Me, a book by one of your auto-read suspense authors. So for that, I am going with One Wrong Move by Danny Petrie. So yeah, I love Danny Petrie. She is one of the authors that got me hooked on the romantic suspense genre. I have read everything that she has written to date and loved every single one of them. She's actually a friend of mine. She taught me quite a bit of writing, mentoring stuff for quite a while, and I actually got to read, I actually got to read the first draft of this book when she was writing it. So I am actually mentioned in, I don't know if you can see the acknowledgements there. I'm actually mentioned on the second page right near the very end. I don't know if you can see it or not, but yeah, my name is on there. So, because I got to beta read this for her. So that was very exciting and fun, and loved this book. Okay, prompt 5 is Abducted by a Killer, a character you'd trust to rescue you. So I'm going to go with Patrick Bowers from the Patrick Bowers Files thrillers by Stephen James. This is book 2, The Rook, and it is kind of the only one that I had, really the only one I have in paperback that was easily accessible to me. So I grabbed this one instead of book 1. But yeah, I would definitely say start with book 1, The Pawn. But yeah, this is one of my very favorites, and it's so good. They're not for the faint of heart, but they are so good, so fast-paced, and just fantastic. Okay, prompt 6 is Nail-Biting Climax, one of the most suspenseful books you've read. For that, I'm going with A Cross to Kill by Andrew Huff. I just read this one this month as part of the Keep Me in Suspense readathon. It's been on my TBR for like 2 years or something, and I finally got to it, and I am so glad I did. It was like literally non-stop action. Non-stop action and suspense. I just loved it so much. It was so good. This is about a guy named John Cross, who is a former CIA assassin who met Jesus and is now a pastor, but his old life comes calling, and there are guys that are out to get him and people that he cares about. And so yeah, it's so good. So good. I loved it so much. Okay, and then prompt number 7 is Detective Work, a book where you guessed the villain. For that, I'm going with Life Flight by Lynette Eason. This is book 1 in the Extreme Measures series. Now, the primary villain in this book is known from the very beginning, from like page 1, because his name is in there. He is a serial killer that has escaped from police custody, and they're trying to find him. So the main villain is known, but then he kind of has some cohorts that you find out as the story goes along. And there is one like secondary villain that is revealed near the very end, but I called that villain's identity very early on, and I was very pleased to discover that I was correct about that. So yeah. Also, I can say I absolutely love this book and the whole series and highly recommend it. Okay, and then prompt number 8 is I'm Watching You, a book with a person on the cover. For that, I am going to do a slight little bit of shameless self-promotion and talk about my own book, Deadly Obsession, which is a short little novella it's a suspense novella. There's no romance in it, but it's about this girl, Kennedy Stevens, who is a teenage FBI agent who basically sets herself up as bait to capture sexual predators. And so it's about her. Her story is in first person, and also her older brother Wyatt, who is also an FBI agent, and his story, he has a point of view in here in third person. And so yeah, we get to see, it starts out with seeing her kind of on the job and a case that she's working on, and then gets personal as someone in her personal life starts stalking her and coming after her. And yeah, it's very fast paced. I had a ton of fun writing it. Yeah, it's not perfect. I did not get it professionally edited or anything, so I will say that the writing is not the greatest. I will say that, but it is out there. It is on Kindle Unlimited. It's available in paperback on Amazon. It's also available as an audiobook from Audible. So it is there if you want to check it out. But yeah, I had so much fun. I truly had so much fun writing this. I really did. And yeah, so there's that. Okay, so that concludes the Keep Me in Suspense book tag. I am not going to tag anyone, but if you want to do this, if you see this and you want to do this, consider yourself tagged, and then please tag me, because I would love to come and watch your video. I will leave all of the questions in the description box below, and I think that's everything. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!